I don't do my research. Really? Okay. Should we fact check that one? Hey everybody, welcome back, and I have decided OBS can go fuck itself. This is now the third time I'm recording this particular video, because the first time I had no audio because OBS disconnected my microphone, and now my microphone doesn't even exist in the settings, and the second time it also has no visual because OBS disconnected my monitor, and I didn't realise because I was doing it all off of this screen and not using this one. So I couldn't see OBS at the same time as my monitor, and I had to just trust it. So, third time lucky, hopefully. Let's get into today's video. I wanted to look at a particular comment that I got. It's not great, but it's pretty tame in terms of hate comments. I wouldn't even go as far to say that it's a hate comment, but it's not positive. And I really wanted to look at it in terms of what debunkers experience and go through. And by no means is this anywhere close to what some of the other debunkers have experienced, but I'm sure I'll get there at some point. But I wanted to highlight the emotional immaturity of these people, at least some of these people. So let's grab a drink and just jump in. So this is the video that I got it on, and we're gonna watch it first. It's a short, and I appear to be losing my voice, so we're just going to take this however it goes. So we're going to watch the short through first, and then we'll have a look at the comments and we'll go from there. Ed, there is absolutely no proof, despite your claims of scientific proof that spirits exist, to show that the dead stick around once they're gone. Like, surely if we are a soul that has come for an earthbound experience, once our earthbound vessel stops working, we would just go back to wherever souls go. I mean, maybe we can visit and just like pop in, send a canary, I don't know, send a robin. Robins are supposed to, I don't know why I said canary, but send a robin or something, because robins are supposed to be your loved ones visiting. Okay, so that was the short, and shout out to Kimberly. Kimberly's amazing, but that's not the comment that I want to look at. I want to look at this one. So they said, yeah, and you think absolutely nothing can exist past our perception. Do you really think humans are so evolved that we can see and sense absolutely everything? Spirits exist, dead do come back. You can deny it all you want till you actually meet one. Nothing compares to the sensation of something you can't see walking up to you or walking past you. Okay, so what that tells me is that they didn't watch the video in its entirety. Or if they did, they didn't listen. Because I'm theorising, and the text on the screen even says, as Valerie said, so this isn't my words, it's her words, and I'm theorising off of what Valerie said. I've had many paranormal encounters and I have spiritual beliefs too. That doesn't mean I'm going to blindly believe everything without using my common sense and critical thinking first. I feel like that's valid. They replied, so your personal experiences aren't proof enough for you? Or is this video an attempt at rage bait? So I said, just because I've had personal experiences that I can't explain doesn't mean it's a spirit or ghost. There are loads of other possibilities more based in science. Of course I'd love ghosts to be real, but that doesn't mean that they are. If I was going to rage bait, I'd try harder than this. These shorts are ads for my long form videos and can sometimes be out of context because it's an ad. I would also like to point out that people have the attention span of a gnat these days. If a video does not capture somebody's attention in the first 10 seconds, they are not going to watch it. Which is why we now have to have cold opens at the beginning of videos. But these are out of context because I only have a maximum of 60 seconds and I'm a rambler. Realistically, it has to be shorter than that because people get bored and they don't care. So really, I have probably 30 seconds max. I do have a couple of shorts that are like 45 seconds, but mainly I try to get sort of around the 20-second mark is my aim for a short, because people don't care, people don't watch. So also, with it being rage bait, I would have to try a lot harder than this. This is me theorising about somebody else's words. If I was going to rage bait, I'd say something a lot more controversial than this. And then they replied, shorts aren't meant to be ads. This won't make anyone interested in your content. Okay, so let's have a look at that, shall we? So, new viewers, 3.9k on shorts, 791 on videos. And returning viewers has actually gone up. Good job. Proud of you. And then subscribers from shorts, I have 7 subscribers from my shorts and I only post ads these days. And I have 12 subscribers from videos in the last month. Views, 17k on shorts and 1.3 on videos. Published content, I have 53 shorts and 8 videos. So I do post considerably more shorts because I have like 2 shorts going out a day. Typical views, shorts has gone up, but this was sitting about the same yesterday. People who watch my videos only, 44%. People that watch both my shorts and my videos are 35%, and shorts only 21%. So 35% are watching both. Seems like my shorts are working. And then how viewers find me, 87.9% from my shorts. But my shorts aren't working. My ads don't work. Good to know. You know, personally, I would have believed my analytics, but the random person on the internet knows more than I do. I don't actually need my headphones anymore. I'm going to take them off. They went on to say, right, then you're just ranting about something you know nothing about, and you didn't bother to do any research. The title and what you say is polarizing enough to count as rage bait. I'm an occultist and I've been practicing for over 20 years. The dead aren't just dead, it's that simple. I'd suggest reading up on quantum physics if you want some scientific proof. I don't do my research. Really? Okay. Should we fact check that one? So, I don't do my research. Let's have a look at the video that this short links to, which is this one. Oh, what's this? Look at all this research. What do we have here though? We have medical studies. We have the medium that they had in. We have a CIA government document. We have some other more mundane stuff. Oh, we have a link to Kenny Biddle, who's actually a professional debunker. He gets paid to do this. And not just by YouTube, you know, by an actual certified body. Oh, and I also found an article on architectural psychology that took me 2 hours to find, by the way, at 3 o'clock in the morning when I wanted to go to bed. But I don't do my research. But that's got to be a one-off, right? I'm not going to put that level of detail into all of my videos. So what about this one? Oh, this links to a Google Doc. So what's in this Google Doc? Oh, wow. Donation links to other people who with timestamps, city plans, general plans, maps, actual, you know, certifiable evidence for what I'm saying, and even links to things that I got wrong, where I corrected myself. I kept all that. Oh, and this has multiple tabs, so what's in the other tabs? Oh, also, multiple locations that you could research if you wanted to. Other sites that back up what I'm saying. But I don't do my research. But that's got to be a one-off. Or not a one-off, but that's something I do more recently. I didn't start doing that, did I? I couldn't have done. Oh, being serious, I don't think I did in like my first 2 or 3 videos, but I did start here. So yeah, I think my first 2 I didn't because there wasn't really anything to research. But no, I've been doing this basically from the beginning, you know. Dangers of creosote. Anything I evidence and put on screen, there will be a link for. But I don't do my research. But what else did they say? I suggest reading up on quantum physics if you want more scientific proof of ghosts. Okay, well, we will do that. We have this lovely article up here that we will look at in a minute, but let's finish this comment section first. Because they never replied to me. after this, which, you know, maybe they got bored, maybe they don't care anymore, maybe they got busy, although getting busy isn't as likely because it's been 2 days now. Or maybe I was right and they actually did what I suggested and figured out that they're a dumbass. This is my channel. If I want my shorts to be ads, I can. Plenty of people do it. If you don't like it, leave. You sound so ignorant. If you actually bothered to look at the related video, you'd see that my description boxes are always full of research links based on what I'm saying. I also do a lot of research and have spoken about quantum mechanics, etc. Have the day you deserve. I wasn't replying after that, and I'm kind of glad that they didn't reply, but if they had replied, good for them. So, we should do research into quantum physics, shall we? Let's go. This spooky season, IFL Science is taking you on a journey between science and superstition, to a dimension of imagination akin to the Twilight Zone. For the next several hundred words, we are going to ask you to believe in ghosts. We will build a case for how ghosts can work within the natural laws of the universe before the scariest of all branches of physics comes to crush our fun. While physics is my domain, we need to raise a question that pertains to the world of biology. Why are ghosts in stories and folklore overwhelmingly human? And not just any human, modern humans, Homo sapiens. There is nothing in our biology or physiology that sets us apart for the task or that is utterly unique compared to other species. Where are the Neanderthal ghosts roaming Europe? Why isn't the ocean filled with ghosts of dolphins and orcas that have unfinished business roaming around coral forests? Why aren't poachers being haunted by ghosts of great apes they had violently killed? Much to consider when you include biology, but for now let's focus on physics. That's also a great point. I had considered it. I'd considered it in the sense of why do all ghosts speak English, and modern English at that? Like, you go to a German medieval castle and these ghost hunters are speaking English. Like, why? And there's no even, like, when you go to, like, I don't know, the castle where Anne Boleyn is supposedly haunting, for example. Why are we speaking modern English? They wouldn't be talking like this. They probably have next to no idea what we're saying or don't trust us because we're speaking weird. Why wouldn't we at least attempt to speak in their dialect? But the point of the other animals, great point. I hadn't considered that. Ghosts versus the forces of nature. There are 4 fundamental forces of nature based on our best understanding of physics: gravity, electromagnetism, and strong and weak nuclear forces. Everything in reality reacts with these forces, not all of them, but at least one. An interesting example is dark matter, the hypothetical substance that permeates space and outweighs the regular matter that makes us 5 to 1. It is believed that it only interacts through gravity. Now, for our spooky spirits, we thought we'd have them interact with gravity at the very least, otherwise there would be I've said this word like 15 times, I still can't say it. Helical residue of ghosts through space. Helical, like a spiral staircase, because the Earth goes round the Sun and the Sun moves forward with the whole solar system. Our telescopes and our spacecraft have not picked up on such a trail. Another force that would certainly matter to ghosts is electromagnetism. They are sometimes visible, although it is not clear if they emit or reflect light. They can touch objects and move them, so there's a physicality to them that can only be expressed through electromagnetic interactions. And they are translucent. Light changes as it passes through them. This indicates a physical substance of some sort, which suggests that we might be dealing with one or both of the other 2 forces. For ghosts to be real, they need to play by the rules of the universe. The fundamental forces have put down some pretty stringent limits. Ghosts and quantum mechanics. In the anthology A Random Walk in Science, D.A. Wright delights us with a fantastic essay titled A Theory of Ghosts. It starts from the assumption that ghosts can walk through walls and doors, but remain confined within the thick exterior walls of castles and old buildings, and that allows us to do some intriguing quantum mechanical calculations. A standard exercise in quantum mechanics is a particle trapped inside a potential well. The particle has not got the energy to jump over the walls of this well, so it remains trapped inside, although it has the ability occasionally to tunnel through the walls if they are not too thick. That sounds quite apt for the concept of a ghost, doesn't it? The conditions are so wonderfully stringent that Wright can calculate the mass of a ghost, around 10 trillion times less than a single electron. Basically, ghosts cannot be scary or lift you up, because any fight back from you could easily accelerate them out of the solar system. So our ghosts are bound by the fundamental forces that they have a tiny mass, smaller than even that of a neutrino, aptly called the ghost particle. But maybe they're not just a thing. Maybe they're an interaction, like a time crystal. They periodically form from interacting atoms, appear to us in visible light, and then disperse again until it's time for their next interaction. Wouldn't that wrap everything up with a neat bow? Well, not quite. Ghosts versus approximations. To make the science in the previous sections work, we had to cut corners and take some creative liberties, which is always a great start when you're doing science, you know? Which is strict mathematical equations and stuff, and you're just having to like shoehorn it in there to make it work. It's not a great look, is it? If you start looking closely at every aspect of it, you will see just how flimsy our constructive physics of a ghost is. For example, even if ghosts are immaterial, just magically made of light, they cannot pass through walls as long as we are seeing them. If they are made of radio waves or microwaves, sure, that's how Wi-Fi moves through a house, but we do not see Wi-Fi and we wouldn't be seeing ghosts either. The jokey tunnelling example of quantum mechanics could not possibly work as long as the ghosts were made of something. It would be like you were trying to tunnel through a wall. Yes, the possibility exists that if you run at the wall, all your particles would align in a way that you can phase through said wall. But the probability is so close to zero that it's easier to bet on your broken nose. Even dramatically reducing the number of particles of the ghost would take enormous coordination to make it happen, and that means energy. Ghosts and thermodynamics. This is why we left the scariest branch of physics till last, thermodynamics. The laws of thermodynamics tell us how energy is transferred, never created nor destroyed, and how entropy tends to increase in an isolated system. We can't even reach absolute zero or create order, reduce entropy, without wasting energy. Basically, they explain to us that the universe is a big game. We can't win, no energy out of nothing. We can't draw, entropy increases. And we can't even leave the table. Our physics-based ghosts have to face this impossible challenge. Either the well-tested laws of thermodynamics are real, or ghosts are, and I am more inclined to disbelieve the former than I am inclined to believe the latter. Scientist and educator Marcus Siddle told IFL Science. If they exist in the universe, ghosts must obey the laws of thermodynamics. For a ghost to exist, it needs to draw energy from something, and it will expend energy to float about, change shape and pass through walls. So that means it must also release said energy. Not to be all Demi-Moore about it, but ghosts are hot, if they have to be real. When supernatural TV shows have cold spots in infrared cameras, that's a draft. A real ghost obeying the laws of physics needs to run hot. Since we're on the topic of tropes, what about flickering candles and such? The spooky Science Sisters give us a fantastic tidbit, infrasound. Frequencies lower than a human can hear can make candles flicker. Thermodynamics being correct is the reason why we age, why it's easier to make a room messy than tidy it up, and why things break with time. And that's way spookier and upsetting in the long run than any ghost. So, it would look like quantum physics cannot explain ghosts and does not scientifically prove ghosts. Also, the spooky Science Sisters that were mentioned, I'm actually really interested in. I don't have any of those, so I might need to get one if they're not on YouTube. But the science behind the supernatural. The Spooky Science Sisters is hosted by Paige and Megan, two scientists and sister-in-laws with a love for all things spooky. In this podcast, they bring you a discussion about the possible scientific explanations behind the supernatural, from ghosts to aliens to cryptids and more, which I wanted to give them a shout out because this looks really cool. So, this was a lot more factual and a lot less petty than my first video, but I still did throw in a few of the jabs that I did in the first and second video, because this is now the third. And I'm more pissed at OBS at this point than I am anything else. But I wasn't really bothered about the comment in the first place. It was just an arsehole being an arsehole, you know, what are you going to do? But I wanted to use it as a springboard for a conversation. So that's what I did, because it's my channel and I can do what I like. But with that, let me know your thoughts down in the description box below. Do you think quantum mechanics, quantum physics explains anything to do with ghosts? Did you like the article? Do you like my level of research? I mean, I think you do, because one of the biggest compliments I get is the level of research that I do and that I make it accessible to everybody, because I hate gatekeeping information. I think information should be free and easy to access, and I will always do my best to make that possible. But with that, I'm going to leave you to the rest of your day now. I hope it's a good one, and I will see you next time. Bye!